Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Leader Journey. Today I'm joined by Tim Duijsings. He is our Group IT Manager, and we're still talking about how COVID has impacted organizations across the world. So Tim, when the measures for COVID-19 were installed, what was the impact on you and your team?
Yeah, the COVID measures had quite some impact on our team and on our daily work. For example, keeping distance is hard. Try to look at a user screen with 1.5 meter distance is really hard. We come to a work spot of users quite a lot, and we need to disinfect keyboards, stuff like that. So on that side, even it was already a small challenge. What was more of a challenge is the fact that we at Leader were quite equipped to work from home, but other parts of the group, of the Leader Biomedical group, weren't. So when this started, we had to make sure that 40 or 50 people were able to work home, get their laptops, etc., etc. And as the whole world was working on that, there were even no laptops available. So there were a lot of challenges to get people up and running at their home environment. On top of that, also a lot of systems were using online tools were overloaded. So another, let's say, challenge, especially in the first weeks of the COVID measures. After that, a lot of companies were able to change their systems, to upgrade their systems, and after a few weeks, I think we're quite up and running within the company. What we also have seen is that besides these extra work spots, working from home, that the number of tickets we receive every week were almost doubled in the first 2 months, March and April. And yeah, that was an additional challenge on top of, let's say, all the work spots. And due to the measurements on COVID, it also took a lot more time to solve an issue. So yeah, that were the main issues we've seen. And up till now, I think we still have more tickets every month, about 30%, but much less than we had in the early days.
Yeah. So for the people who don't know, a ticket is basically an issue with either hard or software that people work with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever you raise, whether you, sorry?
What were the main issues that people were dealing with and things you had to sort? So you initially started in helping everybody set up, and this is not just Leader, but the group companies, set up Office for home and getting all the systems working on either personal laptops or home computers. What were the tickets issues mainly focused on?
So one of the things is that we cannot control people's home environment. So if you have a bad connection at home or issues over there because a lot of people work from home and the network is a little bit overloaded, that causes issue that we cannot solve, but we also cannot really see. So we cannot measure that what happens at home, and we cannot reach the people at that moment. And the other way around. So there are a lot of tools to check online on their computer, but if the computer is not running or if there is no internet, that is a thing that is not helpful. So people need to come back to workspace and to work and in the office and check their computers. And the other side is that a lot of people use, for example, different equipment than they are used during work. So with that different equipment, a lot of different things you need to know, how to make a secure connection, for example. And there are things that people, it's not a big thing, but a lot of people are not aware how, they're not used to it. And then there are questions about it, or things do not work properly. Then you need help. And with, let's say, 50 people who need to learn work from home in a different way, you can imagine that every day some people will call in for one of the or more of these issues.
Yeah, it sounds like you had your work cut out,
Yes.
and not just you, but also your team. So once all of that was set up, people started to get used to things. You then had a new challenge because the Leader Biomedical Europe office and team have just this week moved into a new office location, still in Amsterdam, but that also meant a lot of additional work for the IT departments, which is often overlooked, but you had a huge amount of work in order to set up the infrastructure and get all the cables and make sure that the office again was ready for the team to move in.
Yeah, correct. And I think in this case, the devil is in the detail. There was a lot of on the IT side that you don't see, but it needs to be arranged. We were able to start early. For example, with the internet, you need several months to get an internet or at least glass fiber on location. So that is something that already started months ago. But at the end, everything needs to come together at this date, whether it is the error changes in our email signature, whether it's the wiring, whether it's the transfer of telephone systems. But I think we did a good job in a good preparation. It took quite some time and some effort to come there. But I think we had a smooth move, not only on the IT side, but in general. But it was an additional challenge, correct?
Yeah, indeed. So kind of rounding this up and, looking back on the last, what is it, about 3 months now, and we're not there yet, but people are starting to slowly go back, either 1 or 2 or 3 days at the office. What, from an IT point of view, and for you and your team, have been key learnings, maybe some good advice that you want to share with people in a similar situation?
Yeah. To be honest, I think we cannot control the various changes in society or economics or whatever, and therefore I also think we cannot respond to the subsequent change. So whatever happens next, what would that mean for the IT requirements? I think main key point here is that we need to be ensured that we as a team, as IT, but also as Leader Biomedical, need to be as flexible as possible and try to not be dependent on one system or one way of working. So move on if something happens, see what best options there are and help each other out. And I think that is what we did during the past few months all together. And I think that is at the end what is it about within a company. Also after Corona, we will work more from home than we did before. So this is something that will sustain, but I don't know what other challenges might come.
No, it does sound like you're ready for anything that's gonna come our way.
Let's hope so.
Yes.
I like the challenges.
So yeah, thank you so much, Tim. I think also for just putting a little bit of a spotlight on a team that is often overlooked, but it is so crucial for any company to function in an efficient and smooth way. And I think I speak on behalf of the entire Leader team when I say thank you for all the hard work that you guys have done you know, getting us through what is a very, you know, extraordinary situation. And thank you so much for sharing your side of this.
Yeah, welcome. Glad to be part of the team.
Okay, I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.